Hey, Python here. So there was quite the Nintendo Direct that just happened earlier this week, Wednesday to be exact. And now that I've had some time to think about my thoughts and, kind of just put it all together, I wanted to share what I thought with y'all. Everyone has their own takes on this Direct, but for the most part I saw praise. Some even say it's one of the best, or the best Direct yet. I'm actually in that range too, and yeah, there will always be games that some don't care about, but I don't think there's been this few in a Direct for me before. I'll go into my general thoughts a bit later, after I've gone through all the segments that they showed. This video is a bit lengthy, so it's fine if you just listen in the background or something, as I'll just be mostly using footage from the Direct anyway. So let's get started. The first thing they showed. So basically this Direct started with the best possible thing, to my absolute surprise, completely unexpected that this would start with Pikmin 4. And if you know me, Pikmin is my bread and butter. It is like my favorite series of all time. And with how much I've been anticipating this game, of course this was like the best thing that could have happened. And wow, it looks fantastic. So much was thrown at us. I'm definitely going to do a separate video breaking down the trailer, because there was just so much to process. But for now, I'll say that, yes, caves from the second game are finally back. So awesome that they're actually finally back. I know a lot of people don't like the second game because of the caves, but I honestly think it's one of the best parts of the second game, and one of the reasons why it's my favorite of all the games. And the thing that I've been wanting for so long, the night mode that you can actually walk around at night. So cool. But I do have a bit of doubt with that, and I'll explain that in the future video. But okay. I'm so happy that this game is still finally a thing. Like, I'm still in disbelief that it comes out so soon, on July 21st. That's so soon. So I'm glad that my favorite series is finally back, and it's really shaping up to be something really special. Also, that dog is positively adorable. Completely adorable. I love him. Alright, so next. Second thing, it's funny how this Direct talked about two of my favorite series back to back at the very beginning of the Direct. So the second thing is the Wave 3 and Wave 4 of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC. And in Wave 3 they introduced this new hero. I like her, and her design is great. But the thing that interests me even more is the roguelike challenges. They're so weird, but I dig this idea. It's so cool and unique. I really want to dig into that. It comes out soon, so I can't wait to dig into that. But the real meat of the bones is the Wave 4 story DLC, and it is crazy. I won't say any spoiler stuff here in case you haven't played, 1, 2, or 3. I won't try to spoil anything. I'll make a whole separate video with my thoughts and theories on whatever they showed us in that quick tease. But all I say is that building up to potentially being one of the greatest stories ever told, period. If MONOLITHSOFT manages to pull this off, it might even top Pikmin as my favorite series of all time. I don't know. I never thought something like that might happen, but that's how much potential this has. This is going to be such a wild finish to this series after all this time. Absolutely looking forward to it. The character glow-ups are insane. Alright, on to the third thing. Samba de Amigo Party Central. Yeah, hey, I'm all for dormant IPs making a comeback, and Samba is a really random one. It's about time the original is getting a sequel. It was only ever in the arcade originally, it then ported to the Dreamcast and ported to the Wii. I have the Wii version myself, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to get my hands on this game. Also, it being only $40 is also a pretty good deal. It's not a port, remaster, or remake, but a brand new game. I love to see it. So, the fourth thing, this was kind of the first stinker. I wasn't that into whatever this game was, Fashion Dreamer. Not really my thing, but I will say that the HUD and art style, look very nice. It kind of reminded me of Style Savvy. I wonder when that series will ever make a comeback. Next game. Now the fifth thing they showed was the Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells, and people have been pretty hyped over this. And yeah, I expected this was gonna show up too, because it's getting close to release, and it looks great. I've never played Dead Cells myself, but I've always been interested, especially with how incredible this DLC looks, so I'll be keeping an eye on this for sure. Now, onto the sixth thing, Tron Identity. I'd say I'm a bit more interested in this than Fashion Dreamer, but because Tron is cool. I like the series Tron itself. but the type of game that it is, it's like some kind of VN like puzzle game. Not sure if that's gonna be for me. I'll need to see more of it. But cool that Tron is back in some kind of form though. Alright, next. This is another part where I just screamed. Ghost Trick. Several years ago, I played it, and man, it is still stuck with me to this day. This is from the same creator of the famed Ace Attorney series, so if you love those, I highly recommend you check this game out. If you never have, I remember there being an iOS version 2. This was originally on the DS, Nintendo DS, but I remember there being an iOS version 2 where it was episodic, and that kind of sucked. So I'm kind of glad that this seems like it's just going to be a full package again, like in the original version. There just isn't a game quite like it. One of the most unique video games I've ever played, and certainly one of the best too. So happy this is getting remastered, and it looks really great. I'm glad so many will get to experience this absolute gem. Please get this game. I just hope it gets a physical, but I really doubt it. Alright, now, the next one is very interesting. This is from Level 5. If you're not familiar with them, they've made some stuff like Professor Layton, Yokai Watch, and Fantasy Life, are some well-known ones. The company, a couple of years back, shut their Western division off and yeah, moved away from wanting to localize their games anymore over here due to like the declining sales of games over here. But it's the reason why we never got Yokai Watch 4, even though I really do want to get that in English. But but anyway, back to this game. This game looks super cool. I am all for this odd cyberspace detective RPG. It sounds nuts and it looks nuts, and I'm all for it. It doesn't have a set release except that it's releasing at some point this year, but I'll definitely continue to have a close eye on this game. Really cool Level 5. Nice new IP. What was it? I think it was Deca Cop? No, Deca Police. That's what it was. Deca Police. Okay, next. Yeah, I saw this one coming, as most people did. It's getting pretty close to the release, like a month away, so it was expected they would show it off one more time. I knew they were going to show it off one more time to get people really into it. I think it looks gorgeous. It's the Bayonetta Origins. I have never played Bayonetta, but I do own the first two, so I kind of want to play through those before I pick this up. Everything about it is very interesting. I'll keep an eye on it for sure. The art style reminds me of Okami. I think it's cool that Platinum Games are taking Bayonetta in such a different direction in terms of gameplay. Very interesting. Next we have, finally, the expansion pass for Splatoon 3. So it's split into two waves. The first wave is basically coming out very soon in the spring, and it's Inkopolis from the first Splatoon. You can basically now either be in the main area of the third game, or you can get this first wave and be able to do all that, but in Inkopolis instead. And even during Splatfest, Callie and Marie will be there as well, so you can see that. So I've never played the first game, so to me that's actually really cool, so I'm gonna try to see if I can spend some Splatfest in Inkopolis as if it was the first game again. Really cool. The second wave, which doesn't really have a set date yet, but it's pretty cool, it's basically like the Octo expansion story, and I find it really interesting because it's, from the tease, it's obvious it's about the whole last Splatfest of the second game, which was Order and Chaos, which I was a part of. I actually participated in that, if I remember. I think I did. But basically, Pearl caused all this to happen, so I'm very curious to see how that's going to pan out in this DLC story whenever it happens. So really cool expansion pass there from Splatoon 3. And then we have Disney Illusion Island, which I was hoping to see a bit more of, because it really reminds me of Rayman, like the newer Raymans, like Rayman Legends. Well, they're not really newer, but modern Raymans. It looks very pretty and gorgeous, stunning. Its style, animation, gameplay, it looks so well crafted. Definitely looks cool, but it comes out like within a week of Pikmin 4, so that game's gonna have to wait while I tire myself out of Pikmin 4. But the game looks great. Glad this series got a new entry. Alright, next we have the Fire Emblem Engage DLC waves. Of course, this is also something pretty predictable. Wave 2 simply has 3 more emblems: Hector, Soren, and Camilla. And the Wave 3 also adds Chrom and Robin as a duo, which is very interesting, and Veronica from Heroes, and I knew they would eventually connect Heroes to a mainline game. I was telling people it was going to happen, they were telling me that I was crazy. Well, there you have it. And it's a bit of a nitpick, but her face seems a little off to me in the Engaged art style, but that's just me. But oh well. The fourth wave, of course, is a story DLC, and it seems to be called Feral Xenologue, and that's cool. And it's also really cool that Wave 2 was made immediately available after the direct. So that's cool that they another day one or today release. Next we have Harmony, Their Fall of Reverie. I tuned out completely out of this one. Not interested in this at all. I guess this is pretty much the real first stinker for me, but the art, I guess, the art isn't to my liking, but I guess it looks good the way it is. Next we have, of course, another expected slot, Octopath Traveler 2, trying to showcase it one last time before it releases. I really need to get around playing the first game, but when I do, I'll pick this sequel up as well. I really enjoyed the demo, and speaking of demos, another today release of a demo for this Octopath Traveler 2 game, so really good on that. And it seems to have a ton of playtime too that you can transfer to the full game, so that's also cool. Next we have We Love Katamari, which is the second game in the Katamari series, and it seems to be getting remastered. Now I really loved Katamari Damacy's remastered on the Switch. I have never played the game before back in the PlayStation 2, so I really enjoyed it for my first time, and so I'm definitely going to be getting We Love Katamari's remaster as well. I never played the original of that either, and I've always heard that it's like the peak of the series, so that gets me even more excited to try it out. It looks really fun. It looks like they added some content, which is great, and the music sounds wonderful. And I think it's a really smart move that they're adding a Switch trial for the first game to get people excited for this one. Very smart move. This is definitely probably going to be my major June game, because it releases in June. Alright, then we have Sea of Stars, and man, this game looks fantastic. I am getting heavy Chrono Trigger vibes from this game, and I want it now. I've been keeping an eye on this. Glad we finally got a release date, August 29th. Also dropped a demo on the same day as the direct. Awesome, another today demo. They are really doing great with these setting demos. It's awesome. Now next we have the Omega Strikers. Seems a little interesting. I kind of like the concept of it. It's gonna be free, so I'm gonna try it out. I think it releases like within a week of Advance Wars. I think it was April 27th. So it's not gonna be the main focus. And honestly, if it wasn't free, I probably wouldn't bother checking it out at all. But there's that. This was a nice surprise. The Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. Basically an HD remaster of the first 3 games. I have the first remake, the Untold Millennium Girl, on the 3DS, and I absolutely love that. I haven't beaten it though, but I really like that. I hope that that thing that they showed where you do auto mapping, I hope that was something you can turn off, because I think one of the main appeals to me of the game is that you being able to color in and draw out your maps. I just find it really cool. The third game actually never made it out of the DS, like the first and second did, so it's cool that it's finally getting a second life in this. It looks very nice, but, and here comes the big but, it's only digital here in the West, and it's $80 US dollars. Christ, that is crazy to me. At least you can buy them separately, which I guess is a nice, a smart move from ATLUS. I'm gonna hold off on these for now, but hey, cool that Etrian Odyssey is back in sub form. June 1st feels like a great date for these, but I think I'd prefer getting We Love Katamari, obviously. And the next one, very, very happy that I'm getting a release date finally on this game. The Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Oh my god, I am so happy. It's coming out so soon in April 21st. Oh man, originally it was going to release in December 2021, but then it got delayed to April last year for further polish. But then it got delayed because of the issue with Russia and Ukraine that's going on. Now a whole year later, after it's that indefinite delay, we're finally getting the game, and I need it now. I love Advance Wars, if you couldn't tell. I also expected them to show this off one more time since it'll be out soon. Never played the original Return to Dreamland, but always wanted to. From what I've seen, this seems like the definitive way to play it. They're even adding like a whole 20 level epilogue, which is cool. $60 is still a bit too much for me, so I'm gonna wait on a sale, but I'm definitely gonna be getting this. We all saw it coming, and finally here it is. In my opinion, it took way too long for these systems to be added to the Nintendo Switch Online. The Game Boy and Game Boy Color are basically on the base tier of the online, and the GBA are on the expansion pass. Which, yep, that's pretty much what I expected it'd be like. The Game Boy lineup is actually pretty good, with titles like Tetris, Mario Land 2, Wario Land 3, Link's Awakening, and some feature games coming up with like the Zelda Oracle games. Pokemon TCG, which I know there's a lot of fans of that, Kirby Tilt and Tumble, and same thing with the GBA, Superstar Saga, which is amazing that that's actually being added. You guys need to try that game out, amazing. Golden Sun, same thing with that. F-Zero, Fire Emblem, which is actually my first ever Fire Emblem I ever played and owned, so very cool, and Minish Cap. So many great games, and I'm happy plenty are not going to be able to try out these amazing systems games. I actually also tried out the Game Boy. I don't have the expansion pass, so RIP me with the Game Boy Advance, but with the Game Boy it's cool because it has like the option of you putting the original colors, the pocket colors, or the Game Boy Color, which all look very nice. And they also have this option of putting it into original aspect ratio, like the Game Boy size, as well as this like fuzzy look that kind of tries to mimic its look on original hardware, which I think they actually did a really nice job on it. It's really good. So yeah, very satisfied with the Game Boy. The games are great, the upcoming games are great, and the options are pretty good too. So hey, I never actually beat Mario Land 2 before, so I'm definitely gonna do that. And while I have beaten Mario Land 3, and I actually really liked the game, I felt like I was a bit harsh on it back then, so I'm gonna try to rebeat it to see if I have kind of a new light on it after all this time. Okay, so moving on. I hate how this headline for the Metroid Prime Remastered, it was like the first thing shown and said, and it just ruined the surprise, but my god, it looks so incredible, so who cares? Yeah, so Metroid Prime 1 was remastered from the original GameCube, and they shadow dropped the digital version on the same day as well. That's insane. That is a completely insane shadow drop. I'm gonna be waiting for the physical version that's coming out. I think it was the 22nd of February. Yeah, definitely gonna be looking out to get the physical, and yeah, I own the GameCube version, sure, but come on now, look at it. Have you seen it? It looks incredible. I think with the work that Retro Studios put on this, it is definitely worth it, especially because it's $40, not even a $60 one like Kirby or Hyrule Warriors and stuff like that. No, this is a legitimately amazing remaster at a super reasonable price. Absolutely love Retro Studios. Yes, I didn't get the Trilogy collection like I wanted, but I think this is definitely way worth it. Very nice surprise, one of the best announcements. Okay, honestly, I am intrigued by this game, Raincode, but I'll keep an eye on it. The concept is cool, and I love the aesthetic, with the powers and the detective work. I actually never played Danganronpa, and I know it's from the creators of those guys, Raincode. And I do have the Decadence compilation on the Switch, so whenever I get around to it, I'll play it on there. But I do find this Raincode game a little more interesting. Alright, this one was another one that had me on the edge of my seat. One of the best announcements. It was heavily rumored that this was coming, and I'm glad the rumor was real. I never got around to ever playing Baten Kaitos back in the GameCube. These remasters are very welcome in my book because the originals are so pricey. I'll finally I never just put the time to ever give them a try, just never got around to it, but now I'll finally be able to give this series a try when this drops in the summer. More MONOLITHSOFT is a-okay with me, so Bandai Namco, you are doing some good work giving this to us. I'm hoping for a physical release, really hoping for it, but yeah, I can't wait to actually dig my hands into these. And then we have level 5 again. First it was Deca Police, and now we have this, another game, this time in the form of a sequel to Fantasy Life. That 3DS game that everybody really loved. I never really tried it out myself though. It's a really cool announcement. To me it looks like a mix of Animal Crossing and like Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, that kind of stuff. And I've never been that much of an Animal Crossing guy. I do like New Leaf. I put quite a bit of time into it, and I did buy New Horizons, but I haven't played it yet. But hey, from what Fantasy Life shows me, it's really cool, and I'm glad it's getting a sequel. So I'm definitely gonna be checking that out eventually. And then Level 5 doesn't let up by teasing another brand new another sequel to a beloved series, Professor Layton. I have a buddy that was super happy over this announcement. Level 5 is back, a new IP, and 2 sequels to beloved IPs. This company really means business, and I'm excited to see more from these 3 games and from Level 5 from now on. And of course, we have the Mario Kart Booster Pass update. The brand new track is stellar. It's Yoshi's Island. Really cool looking, very nice. And we actually have a brand new, like a new character added finally. And I think Birdo's a good choice. And yeah, and then comes the quick reel that they show near the end. Out of the games that they showed there, I'm interested in is Battle Network Collection. I really want to get my hands on that, especially because it has online play and I really want to try that. And I really love Battle Network, Mega Man Battle Network games. Have a Nice Death, looks intriguing, same thing with Blanc. And Power Pros because it's 99 cents on the eShop, and I'm gonna get it because it's so cheap. Dreamlight Valley isn't my kind of thing. Again, it gives that Animal Crossing vibe, but it's like Disney characters, so that's kind of like a special no for me. Tales of Symphonia Remastered is a complete pass because it does not look like a decent remastered in my opinion, from all the things that they've been saying about it and the way it looks, runs, and plus I own the original GameCube version anyway, so I think I'm good on that front. So that's a no for me. And Minecraft Legends, it seems alright, but I'm basically just not entirely sold on it yet. And then finally, what the majority of the people were looking forward to, it's Tears of the Kingdom being shown off. I skipped to the end since I didn't play Breath of the Wild yet. Yeah, it's crazy, I know. But from what the people online have been saying, and my buddies too, it seems like it was mostly favorable what they showed off, and a bit funny. But I did see the Collector's Edition and the Amiibo, which look nice. I won't even get into the whole $70 price tag, that's already like quite the controversy online. And yeah, that was everything that was shown. And pretty much it was, I think it was, again, really solid. Yeah, a lot of people complain of there being a whole bunch of updates, DLC stuff, ports and masters and stuff like that, and showing off a bunch of games that we already know about. That's completely fair, and if that completely degrades your thoughts on it, all the power to you. To me though, what they showed was pretty much, if you like have been listening the whole time, I barely said anything bad about what was brought up. It was only like a couple of games and that's it, like 3 or 4 of them out of like the 30 plus games that they showed on this thing. I think that's pretty fantastic. I don't think there's been a Nintendo Direct where it's been like that many bangers and constant like hits, like one after another over and over. So I think, and especially with Pikmin and Xenoblade at the very beginning, Ghost Trick, Baten Kaitos, the Metro Prime Remastered, like there's so, the Katamari, Samba, all of these level 5, the 2 level 5 IPs coming back, level 5 being back, the new IP, I think it was absolutely nuts. It might be one of my favorite directs of all time. And if you agree, that's awesome. If you don't, that's also cool. I think that the direct where Pikmin 4 finally got revealed might be my favorite still, but I think that direct still had a bit more stinkers in there than this one did, so they're kind of like tied at the moment. But yeah, so that pretty much, I give it like an A+. Absolutely solid, and I completely understand the people that say that. They say it's their favorite. And yeah, there we go. Those are my general thoughts of the directs. Many things I'm super interested in. My wallet is gonna cry this year for sure, but hey, that's what, I love the Switch, so I'm there to buy the games that I'm interested in. So yeah, those were my thoughts on the Switch, I mean on the Nintendo Direct, February Direct. Tell me what you guys thought. What were some of the things you were expecting, like F-Zero, Star Fox? Yeah, it's sad that those weren't there, but what can you do, you know? It's sad that they weren't there, but not really much you can do. I hope that maybe in the next one they can come back, all those more IPs. But yeah, tell me what you guys hoping for. What did you think of the stuff that was shown? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you grade it? And all that stuff. I'd like to see what your thoughts on everything were. And if you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I have a feeling that I can do it, but I just have to keep putting out content consistently if I know I need to do that. So I would really appreciate all the support. And yeah, here you go. I'm going to be doing a video on Pikmin 4's trailer and Xenoblade, so look forward to that. And that's it. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.